Do nice guys really finish last? Hi, I'm Mike Mason. This is the Immortal Combat Podcast. The Immortal Combat Podcast is a podcast arm of Very Christie. Very Christie is a Catholic lay apostolate devoted to help men attain the full stature of Christ by growing strong in mind, body, and spirit. If you'd like to learn more about our work, you can check us out online at verychristie.com and stjosephsociety.org. All right, gentlemen, good Friday to you all and a happy Halloween as well. And happy All Saints Day and happy All Souls Day. So very busy next few days. All right, this week I would like to give a reflection on the first half of Romans chapter 12, verses 9 through 10. Okay. Now, Romans 12, 9 through 10 says this: let love be genuine, hate what is evil, hold fast to what is good. Love one another with brotherly affection, outdo one another in showing honor. All right, I'm going to reserve my comments for the first half of this passage. That is verse 9. And I may return to verse 10 next week. We'll just have to wait and see. What I would like to discuss is what St. Paul has in mind when he says, hate what is evil and hold fast to what is good. When I want to start my initial thoughts on this, where I imagine a lot of you, I'm 44 years old. A lot of you guys who are around my age have probably seen the television show off PBS called Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. All right. If you've seen the show, you'll recall that Mr. Rogers is a kind, soft-spoken man. He'd wear the cardigan sweater. He'd encourage kids to be good to one another. Many people don't realize that Mr. Rogers was actually a Presbyterian minister, and many of the topics in his show had Christian themes at the core. Okay. So he would try to instill in children a desire to be empathetic and compassionate and gentle and respectful and things like this. Now, I think Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood was a good show. And for little kids, those are important lessons to learn. Okay. But one of the things I think people would categorize Mr. Rogers is that he is nice. And because of his Christian background, I think a lot of people got the impression that niceness is a virtue, right? In our contemporary culture, there are a lot of hurdles to men embracing the faith and living Christ-like lives. And one of the hurdles is men generally don't want to be considered nice. Okay. In fact, I think a lot of guys think Mr. Nice Guy always finishes last because a lot of times he does. All right. And so people confuse, one image of Jesus, that he's just this nice guy that everybody gets along with, when that's not accurate at all. Now, I don't want to throw too much shade at Mr. Rogers. Okay. The lessons on empathy and compassion and gentleness, those are good lessons, and those are true lessons. And that's a good show for little kids to learn those things. So I'm not throwing shade at it. However, these softer virtues, okay, that are proposed, which we all need to learn and we need to embrace, they can turn into vices if they are not tempered correctly. And that's what I want to talk about today. Specifically, the fact that we should not be nice. Now, what does it mean to be nice? To be nice is to be pleasant or agreeable. And you may be thinking to yourself, what's wrong with being pleasant and agreeable? Well, in itself, nothing. In fact, if you're at a cocktail party or you are talking to people after Mass at the parish coffee hour or something, being pleasant and agreeable can be a good thing in some contexts. However, being nice, pleasant, and agreeable can also be a vice, depending on the context. All right. In this passage in the book of Romans, St. Paul says, let love be genuine. Okay, so for love to be genuine, what do we have to do? Hate what is evil, hold fast to what is good. One myth I think we need to dispel from our Christian lexicon is the fact that people think Jesus Christ was nice. Jesus Christ was not and is not nice. Was he empathetic? Yes. Was he compassionate? Sure. Was he gentle? Absolutely. Is he respectful? Yes. He's not nice. A man who overturns money tables at the temple, a man who taught a moral code that's much higher than anyone else in his day, A person who threatens unrepentant sinners with eternal torment in hell is not a nice guy. That's not a pleasant or agreeable person. A nice guy wouldn't allow himself to be crucified for those he loves. If Jesus was merely nice, his number one priority would be presenting himself as pleasant and agreeable, the go along, get along type of guy. That's not what he was. Okay. Because being nice in those circumstances, being pleasant and agreeable, would have been sinful. And Jesus Christ was like us in all things except for sin. Being nice is a distortion of Christian virtue. As I said, being nice can be, depending on the circumstances, even sinful. Okay. There are times when we should be angry and disagreeable. Okay. Again, consider Romans 12:9. For love to be genuine, we have to hate what is evil. To a person that is evil, to a person that is practicing evil, when we hate that evil, there's nothing pleasant or agreeable going to be about that. When we hold fast to what is good, when we love our enemy, okay, when we try to make him good, when we hold on to it, there's times that that's not going to come across as pleasant or agreeable. Okay. Then we have to avoid the temptation of being nice. Do nice guys finish last? Yes. And it's not a Christian virtue to be nice. And again, for sake of overstating the point, should we be empathetic and sympathetic with other people's suffering? That's a Christian virtue. Should we be compassionate to others? Yes. Should we use our strength to domineer people or to be gentle with them? We should be gentle. Should we be respectful to rightful authority? 100%. But being pleasant and agreeable is not what we're called to do. Men, and I'm going to leave you this thought. So we'll keep the episode short this week. We need to hate what is evil and hold fast to what is good. Our country, our community, and our church are suffering because many men, not all, many men refuse to step up and hate what is evil and hold fast to what is good. The last couple weeks we've been discussing why we need to have a tribe. We've been discussing the fact that we need to make public declarations in defense of those things which are true, good, and beautiful. Okay. Too many men have been lulled to sleep by a contemporary culture. Too many Christian men, Catholic men in parishes are worn out and they're just too nice. Men, we should hate sin and we should hate everything that sin does to our family, our friends, and our community. We should also love and hold fast to everything that is true and good and beautiful. And we should defend it and promote it to our utmost ability. Okay. Guys, we don't need nice guys in the church. We need virtuous men. We need men who hate sin, hate what is evil, men who will steadfastly hold on to what is good, who will defend all that's true, good, and beautiful, men who will do so with gentleness and respect, men who will do so with compassion and even being kind when it's called for it. I am not advocating that Catholic men turn into jerks. I am advocating that we are men of virtue. And we prudentially know when evil's present, we're going to hate it. When there's good present, we're going to promote it and hold fast to it. All right. So to encourage you guys, things like Halloween, I'm not going to get into the Catholic roots of it. There's lots of things online. You can check that out. All Hallows Eve comes before what? All Saints Day. We need to celebrate saints. Find your patron saint. Find saints and learn about these holy people who can be models, not of niceness, but of Christ-likeness, and cling to their witness. Let's reclaim this weekend. There's a lot of twisted, evil things happening on Halloween, right? But All Hallows Eve is our holiday. Okay. All Saints and All Souls, these are our holidays. I mean that lit holy days. Hold fast, take inspiration from the great saints that came before us so that we can be motivated and by God's grace become great saints ourselves. All right, gentlemen, have a blessed weekend and I look forward to talking to you next time. God bless.